Hey everyone, today we're diving into XRP, and I've got to kick things off with this absolutely wild story from David Schwartz that had the crypto community buzzing. So get this, David Schwartz gets what looks like an email from Jed McCaleb saying, "Hi David, this is me, Jed. I'm facing a budget shortfall for a new project and urgently need $1 million. Please deposit it urgently." Now, David, being the legend he is, decides to play along. He responds, "I have the USTD, but I don't have enough ETH to pay the gas fees right now. If you can send 1.25 ETH to this address, I can send the USDT." Classic David, turning the tables on the scammers. But here's the crazy part. Tons of people on Twitter actually thought this was real. They were making jokes like, "What happened to Jed's taco stand money?" And, "Oh no, Jed's broke and needs David to bail him out." This perfectly shows why scams are so rampant in our space. People see those deepfake AI videos of Brad Garlinghouse making fake announcements, and some folks still argue they're legitimate. It's honestly mind-boggling. Please stay safe out there and protect your crypto. Now, here's something that really caught my attention, and honestly, it's pretty exciting. The National Cryptocurrency Association just announced a partnership with Coinbase to launch Operation Hope. They're focusing on crypto literacy education, specifically targeting communities that have been underserved by traditional financial systems. I absolutely love this direction, because here's what happens. When you educate people about cryptocurrency, they immediately feel more comfortable with it. As they get familiar with the technology, they start investing. Then they begin looking for ways to generate returns. And boom, we're looking at true mass adoption happening organically. This is exactly how we bridge that digital asset knowledge gap and build a more accessible economy for everyone. So let's tackle the big question everyone's asking. Is XRP just speculation, or does it have genuine value? When you look at everything Ripple has accomplished over the past few years, the value proposition becomes crystal clear. We're talking about legitimate global expansion beyond the United States, and that growth is still accelerating today. Here are the numbers that matter. Ripple has secured over 300 financial partnerships spanning 45 countries. That's not speculation, that's real-world adoption happening right now. Following Trump's election victory, XRP's price shot up dramatically. But here's the thing, this bullish momentum isn't just hype, it's backed by substantial data and actual usage. Ripple is processing approximately $15 billion in annual cross-border payments. As cryptocurrencies, particularly XRP, continue filling the gaps left by traditional finance, this real-world utility becomes absolutely essential. I'm watching the transactional volume on the XRP ledger closely, because as that usage increases, I believe we'll start seeing it directly reflected in XRP's price action. The article touches on something crucial: XRP's compatibility with existing financial infrastructure, the ongoing ETF discussions, and the difference between rising usage versus pure speculation. Here's my take. If you want to invest in speculation, go put your money in Bitcoin. It has zero utility. But when it comes to XRP, you're no longer gambling. You're investing in a technology that's actively solving real problems in the financial world. The cross-border payment solution is working, the partnerships are expanding, and the adoption is accelerating. This isn't speculation anymore. It's strategic investment in the future of global finance. Here's something most people don't talk about enough. You're not just investing in cryptocurrency, you're investing in the future itself. Think about it. Brad Garlinghouse gets a seat at tables all around the world for a very specific reason. Ripple isn't just aligned with the financial elites, they are the choice of the elites. When the people who control global finance see Ripple and XRP as the future, that tells you everything you need to know. If the elites are investing heavily in this technology, shouldn't you be too? That's literally your pathway to financial freedom right there. And honestly, the future for Ripple and XRP looks incredibly bright moving forward. I'm personally waiting for Ripple to secure that banking license, because when that happens, we're looking at the very real possibility of Bank of Ripple branches becoming a reality. Imagine that for a second. Now, let's talk about this Walmart integration that's got everyone buzzing. I keep seeing people get excited saying, "Walmart's accepting crypto." But hold on, let me break down what's actually happening here. Walmart isn't directly accepting cryptocurrency yet. This is happening through OnePay, which is powering their payment system behind the scenes. What this really shows us is that crypto is increasingly being viewed as a core financial offering that sits right alongside traditional services like savings accounts, credit cards, and wealth management. Here's the thing though, you're not actually paying in crypto. The system converts your cryptocurrency into cash or US dollars for the transaction. But, and this is important, I believe we're moving toward a future where that middleman disappears completely. Picture this. Eventually, you'll be able to pay Walmart directly from your digital wallet to their digital wallet using pure crypto. No conversion, no OnePay middleman, just straight cryptocurrency transactions. We're not quite there yet, but this current integration shows us we're incredibly close. This is still massive for mass adoption because it's getting people comfortable with using crypto for everyday purchases, even if there's conversion happening in the background. Here's where things get really interesting. Charles Schwab, a $12 trillion financial giant, just announced they'll offer Bitcoin and Ethereum trading in early 2026. And guess what comes shortly after that? XRP trading. I've been telling you this for months. It all starts with one. Once one major financial institution jumps in, they all jump in. Nobody wants to be left behind, and that creates an unstoppable network effect. These massive financial companies aren't going to miss out on the crypto revolution. They can't afford to. Now, let's talk about this supply shock analysis that's got everyone talking. Greg is mapping out a path where XRP could hit $2.20 per token. Yes, you heard that right, $2.20. His analysis shows that as long as ETF inflows continue at their current pace on a daily basis, this massive price increase becomes not just possible, but probable. The problem? Like most analysts, he doesn't give us a timeline. Well, I'm going to give you my timeline based on the data I'm seeing. If this supply shock is going to happen, and I believe it will, I'm predicting we'll see this unfold most likely in the first quarter of 2026. Here's the mechanics. Right now, there's still a significant amount of XRP sitting in dark pools and available through over-the-counter trading. Once that supply gets exhausted, institutional buyers will have no choice but to turn to the exchanges for XRP. And that's when the real fireworks begin. We're talking about potential spikes to $60, $70, $80, even $90 plus XRP happening in rapid succession after that supply shock hits. My timeline? Keep your eyes on the first quarter of 2026. That's when I believe we'll see this incredible price action unfold. But before we get to 2026, let's talk about what's happening right now in December. Google Gemini just released their XRP price prediction for December 31st, 2025, and they're calling for somewhere between $2.80 to $3.20. Now, that's pretty much where I expected us to be, but honestly, I think we're going to push even higher than that. I believe we're entering true price discovery mode by the end of December, and here's why I'm so confident about this. The real momentum is going to start building in January, February, and March because we're still waiting on some major catalysts. The Clarity Act hasn't been passed yet. That's supposed to happen early next year. We've got continued ETF inflows that are just getting started. And here's the big one. Ripple might get their banking license approved in early 2025. When that banking license gets approved, game over. That's going to add massive fuel to the price on top of everything else we've already discussed. Because suddenly, everyone will see exactly where Ripple is heading, and they're going to absolutely blast this entire market wide open. I'm telling you, once they get that license, they're going to hit the ground running, and the momentum will be unstoppable. This puts us directly on the path to seeing actual Bank of Ripple branches become reality. Now, here's something that's going to be controversial, but I need to say it. This could be the biggest reason we'll never see another traditional Altseason again. Think about it. There are thousands of altcoins out there, but most smart investors aren't looking outside the top 10 anymore. Sure, I know a lot of money still flows into meme coins and speculative plays, but here's the reality. People working regular 9-to-5 jobs who just want to build wealth in this space, they're not gambling on random altcoins anymore. The smart money is staying within the top 10, maybe the top 20 cryptocurrencies at most. And here's what's coming that's going to change everything. Regulations. When regulatory clarity finally hits this market, a lot of these smaller coins are going to disappear completely. And when that happens, all that money has to go somewhere. Where do you think it's going? Straight into projects with real value, real utility, and real regulatory compliance. I saw this chart recently that literally wakes me up at night. And the caption said, Altseason wasn't cancelled, only delayed. Just a little more patience. And you know what? That's exactly how I look at this entire cycle. We've seen delay after delay after delay, but Altseason is absolutely coming. The difference is, this time, it's going to be concentrated in the projects that actually matter. The waiting game is almost over, and when this thing finally explodes, it's going to be unlike anything we've ever seen before. Are you ready for what's coming? What's your strategy for the next few months? Drop your thoughts below and make sure you're subscribed. We're about to witness history in the making.